What's up, Mac Nowstalgia? Dave here with my reaction to the 2025 Grammy nominations. This, of course, is the Grammy period for September 16th of last year to August 30th of this year, for the Grammys taking place on February 2nd, 2025. And this is a Grammy cycle that featured a lot of star power, a lot of big names, and a lot of things we expected to happen did happen with the nominations, and it was really more about a question of how much other things would happen in terms of big nominations. Chief among those is, of course, this is once again Taylor Swift going head to head with Beyonce. We knew this was coming ever since Cowboy Carter and the Tortured Poets Department released, a month apart earlier this year. They're both nominated for Album of the Year. Other songs from both of them are nominated a lot. Beyonce, impressively, nominated across genre, which I think is correct given the breadth of that album. The question, really, with the rest of these 2025 Grammy nominations is who else would get into that mix? Because, of course, when we talk about pop in 2025, we don't actually talk about Taylor and Beyonce all that much, because this was the year of the big breakout from two brand new stars, relatively speaking, with Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan, and also the big mainstream breakout finally for Charlie XCX. Thankfully, all three of those women are also in the Album of the Year category, and that is amazing. I was not necessarily expecting that, especially from Charlie, someone who has struggled for mainstream attention and recognition over the years despite the consistent critical adulation. Of course, I'm a big fan of hers. The big, mainstream success she found with Brat gave me hope that this would happen, but it's really great to actually see it, fulfilled with the nominations. So just, going through the big categories, we're going to go through some of the genre categories as well. So, of course, just getting into the general field here with Album of the Year, and we'll get through the genre categories as well. We have these five women I just mentioned: Taylor, Chappell, Beyonce, Sabrina, and Charlie. They're all there. Also, unsurprisingly, Billie Eilish is here for Hit Me Hard and Soft. All that makes a lot of sense. Big surprise for me is actually Andre 3000 for New Blue Sun. Of course, his debut solo album where Andre plays the flute and makes that smooth jazz. I was not expecting that to get Grammy recognition, but here it is. Also, here we have a classic Grammy move where you have something kind of unforeseen. Think of this as like the John Baptiste slot at this year's Grammys, and that would be English singer Jacob Collier's album, Jesse Volume 4. Didn't expect that one either. Now, who didn't make it into Album of the Year? I think thinking about big artists, Dua Lipa not being here, not surprising given the relative, lack of success for Radical Optimism. But Ariana Grande is not here also. She is nominated down the line a little bit, but she did not get into Album of the Year, and I didn't necessarily see that coming at the beginning of the year when that album came out. Bad Bunny's last album from last year, Nadia Sabe, was in the mix for this Grammy period, did not break it through to Album of the Year this year. I guess that was certainly in the cards, although that was not his most celebrated album. And of course, we should note that due to this Grammy period, there's a few big albums that will be nominated next time around because they came out just after the period ended. Notably, that would be Fred Again, Jamie XX, and of course, Tyler the Creator for Chromacopia. So none of them are in the mix here by design. Moving through the record of the year, pretty unsurprising, like Texas Hold'em, Beyonce, Espresso, Sabrina, 360, Charlie, Birds of a Feather, Billy, Not Like Us, Kendrick. Love to see it there. That would be my choice. Good Luck Babe from Chappell, Fortnite from Taylor and Post. All that makes sense. I guess the big surprise is Now and Then, that like new Beatles song from a few months ago. Fine. Song of the year, a bunch of the songs I just mentioned once again. Of course, we know there's tons of overlap. Texas Hold'em, Birds of a Feather, Good Luck Babe. From Sabrina this time, it's Please, Please, Please. Of course, because it's the songwriting category, not the song construction award between record and song. So that makes sense to differentiate that way. I like the choice. Also, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars duet, Die With a Smile is here. Instantly massive track this year that really did not do much for me personally, but that song is huge. Fortnite's also here, and then Shabuzi for a bar song, Tipsy. I think that makes sense. I think that's a really just nomination, honestly. So, hard to be too critical of this. For me, my favorite Billy song off the last album was Lunch, which is kind of in contrast to most of the vibe of the rest of that album, which I didn't really care for as much as I wanted to. Birds of the Feather, though, became the bigger hit. It makes sense that this is what happened. But I personally would have been advocating for Lunch, which will be in my top 10 songs of the year. Spoilers. Best New Artist, always an interesting category for who gets in. We have Benson Boone, Sabrina Carpenter, Doechii, Kurungaban, who I'm not familiar with. That's a Texas band. Ray, Chapel Roan, Shabuzi, and Teddy Swims. On the surface, looks fine. My biggest beef with this, and I'm really happy to see Doechii in here, and Doechii got a lot of Grammy love. That's awesome. Her last album, Alligator Bites Never Heal, is amazing. One of the best rap albums of the year. Great for her. I don't consider Doechii super new, though, but it's fine. It's the breakthrough. Sabrina Carpenter, though, I think is pretty egregious in Best New Artist because this is not like her first album after the Disney stuff. The album Emails Can't Send came out. The album was nonsense. Like, Sabrina has had success already. I think it's a bit of a stretch for her to be in this category. It's not the most egregious stretch they've done Best New Artist. We know how crazy it gets in there sometimes, but to me, she's not exactly new. And this is a great opportunity to point out a massive omission for this award, Best New Artist, and that would be, of course, Tommy Rickman. Tommy Rickman was completely blanked by the Grammys. $1 Million Baby was not nominated for anything, and Tommy didn't get into Best New Artist. I thought both of those were really safe. Maybe Tommy doesn't get through to like Song of the Year, which I think would have been just fine. But like I was expecting a Best New Artist nomination from him, and I find it a bit perplexing that did not happen. Producer of the Year to me is interesting just because of who isn't in it. It's this year it's Alicia, DeMille, Ian Fitchuk, Mustard, DJ Mustard, and Dan Nigro. And that means Jack Antonoff is not nominated after winning this 3 times in a row the last few times. I personally would go with Dan Nigro because between his work with Olivia Rodrigo on the Deluxe that came out this year, as well as his stuff with Chapel, probably a good pick. Ian Fitchuk, though, with the Casey Musgrave and Maggie Rogers work, also is a pretty decent pick. So we'll see who wins that in the end. Going on to the pop categories, I think these are pretty strong. Pop solo performance, you have Beyonce from Bodyguard, Espresso, Apple from Charlie, Birds of a Feather, and Good Luck Babe. Love that Apple's here. That was my favorite Charlie song. When I came out, obviously that became a big hit off Brat, but cool that it got recognized. And then I'm so happy Bodyguard's here from Beyonce and Cowboy Carter. That's my favorite song off the album, and I think that song's just a pure banger. It's awesome that it's here. Pop duo group performance. This one's interesting. So we have, I think unsurprisingly, Die With A Smile, Gaga and Bruno again. Guess, Charlie, the remix with Billy, makes a lot of sense. Levi's Jeans, that's the Beyonce and Post song. So Post is nominated for both of his big pop songs this year, the song with Taylor and the song with Beyonce. You have Us, that's the Gracie Abrams song featuring Taylor Swift. I'm curious if Gracie Abrams would have got as much attention if not for the Taylor connection. Then we also have the Boy Is Mine remix, Ariana Grande with Brandy and Monica, of course, reminiscent of the original version of that song. That's kind of the best look Ari got this cycle, which is crazy again to consider what happened. But then you look to pop vocal album, and it's Sabrina, Billy, Ari, Chapel, and Taylor. So like between these two moments, Ariana Grande kind of got like a bone thrown, you could say. It's okay though; she'll bounce back. Wicked's going to be massive, so it's fine. Dance electronic recording, we have Disclosure, Fortet, Fred Again, and Baby Keem for Leave Me Alone, Justice and Tame Impala for Never Ender, and Witchy, which is Kaytranada featuring Childish Gambino. Excellent category. I love this. Seeing that Fred got nominated for a single here lets you know that his album 10 will be nominated next time around, without a doubt. Dance electronic album, you have Hyperdrama from Justice, Timeless from Kaytranada. Those two had to be here. Like that was non-negotiable, and they're there. That's great. Charlie XCX is here for Brat. I wasn't sure exactly what category Brat would be put in, but it's there. That would be my choice. That's my album of the year. And we also have the Fortet album and the Zed album. Zed whatever. But yeah, so this category next year should have for sure Fred Again, and we hope Jamie XX. Dance pop recording, you have Von Dutch from Charlie. Charlie kind of really branching out across genres with these noms. Got Me Started from Troye Sivan is here, which is nice. He got nominated for Rush last year. What this does mean, though, is his album, Something to Give Each Other, didn't get nominated. That was from last year, right after the period switched. I would have loved that to be in the dance album category over Zed's album. I think that's a bit of a miss. But hey, at least he got something here. And then Yes and is nominated in this category for Ari. Not my favorite nomination. I want to shout out the progressive R&B album category because 3 of those nominations are Kalani, Childish Gambino, and No Worries, aka Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. Nice choices. Um, Rap category is a bit underwhelming this year, I gotta be honest. So if you look at rap album this year, it's J. Cole for Might Delete Later, which was not like an official album from Cole. That was, of course, where 10 Minute Drill was from, his Drake Kendrick, beef entry song that he, of course, deleted. The Grammys actually nominated that project, which had some good moments. Shout out Ray 24, but like, why is that nominated? That's very strange to me. Also nominated is Auditorium Volume 1 by Common and Pete Rock. Perplexing choice. Alligator Bites Never Heal from Doechii. That should win. The Death of Slim and Shady by Eminem. Huge groan, but not a surprise. And then We Don't Trust You by Future and Metro, which is a fine pick. Unfortunately, that means Vince Staples is not here. 21 Savage is not here. Megan Thee Stallion, Schoolboy Q. There were good albums that didn't get in, and that's a bit disappointing to me. Also, if you look at the rap song, categories, best rap song, you have Asteroids by Rhapsody and Hit Boy. You have Carnival, surprisingly, Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign. I love that that's in here. Honestly, did not expect that in the least. Like That, Kendrick and Future, great. And Metro, Not Like Us and Kendrick. So Kendrick, I think Justly is nominated twice in this category for those 2 songs. And then Yeah, Glow, kind of surprising from Glorilla. Glorilla seems to have some Grammy support, getting nominated for Best New Artist previously. In Best Rap Song, I would have loved one of the A$AP Rocky singles from this year, like Hijack. Taylor Swift got nominated for a music video, so they knew about the Rocky songs. I would love Hijack in there. But yeah, like, it's fine. I think Carnival being there is pretty sick. But then you go to rap performance. We have Enough by Cardi B, one of the Common and Pete Rock songs. And he's an Ultima by Doechii, great choice. Like That, Houdini from Eminem, Yeah, Glow, and Not Like Us. Like, I think it's fine because Not Like Us is gonna wrap these up as it should. But I always would love best rap album to be handled better, and I just think this is a pretty weak field they've done. A lot of star power and country solo performance. You have Beyonce for 16 Carriages, and also Jelly Roll, Casey Musgrave, Shabuzi, and Chris Stapleton. It's pretty impressive. Country duo group performance. Love to see Two Most Wanted from Beyonce and Miley Cyrus. Excellent choice. You also have I Had Some Help by Post Malone and featuring Morgan Wallen. I think that's Wallen's first Grammy nomination, I'm pretty sure. Notably, Zach Bryan didn't submit this year. He got blanked after previously being nominated in the past. Also, looking at country album, Cowboy Carter's there, Beyonce. We knew that would be there. Casey, Chris Stapleton, Lainey Wilson, and then Post Malone for F1 Trillion, his first country record. So, didn't necessarily expect that, but there it is. Post has failed to break through in the bigger categories the last few albums he's put out, so this genre pivot seemingly has worked in a certain sense at the Grammys. Best African music performance, I think, is pretty strong this year. You have Yemi Alade for Tomorrow, Burna Boy for Higher, Chris Brown, surprisingly, for Sensational, featuring DeVito and Lil J, and then Asake and Wizkid for MMS, and Thames for Love Me JJ. So, like, there's a lot of star power in that category. That's one of the, I think, most stacked ones we've seen. I personally would be pulling for Thames across all the African categories this year. I thought that album was tremendous. There were some amazing songs on that, so that I hope that happens. Unsurprisingly, Bad Bunny's in Musica Urbana and Peso Plumas and Musica Mexicana. I would think they would win just because they're the most famous people in their categories this year. I think Bunny is going up against Balvin, so that's possible, but yeah. That's the 2025 Grammy nominations. I think like most of the nominations go at this point. Like, it's largely agreeable. It's hard to find like really overt stuff. Like Jacob Collier, Common, and Pete Rock. Like, there's weird Grammy things. Even the Andre 3000 album, to be honest. But for the most part, in line with expectations. I will be giving my Grammy predictions before the awards happen next year, so make sure you tune in for that. Again, a lot of big people to talk about who will actually win. Will Taylor win it again? Will Beyonce finally get the big one? We'll see. We'll get to that in time. Let me know, though, what did you think of the nominations? What was a big surprise or snub to you? Who are you most excited to see nominated? Let me know. And for more music awards discussion around the Grammys and music reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.